The Premier League is the most popular league in the world, but winning the title isn't as easy as these sides make it look. Here are the 10 greatest teams in Premier League history. Manchester City Centurions. 50 clubs have taken part in the Premier League since its launch in 1992, but only one of those has ever reached 100 points. Manchester City made history in 2017-18 when they blew the rest of the league away with their quality. Pep Guardiola's side were almost perfect that season. They won the title by a 19-point margin, the largest in Premier League history. City also registered the most wins, scored the most goals, and wrapped up the title earlier than anyone had ever done before or since. They were magnificent all season long. Kevin De Bruyne provided 16 assists. Sergio Aguero scored 21 goals. Raheem Sterling scored 18 and set up another 11. Throw in David Silva, Leroy Sané and Gabriel Jesus, and this Manchester City team were one of the most entertaining and dominant we've ever seen. Arsenal's Invincibles. In 2003-04, Arsenal did something no one thought was possible. The Gunners played 38 games that season and didn't lose a single one. It was an incredible achievement. The only other team that had gone an entire season unbeaten was Preston North End in 1888-89, and clubs only played 22 matches back then. Arsenal won 26 games and drew the other 12 to become the Invincibles. Arsene Wenger had created a complete team. Their attack was breathtaking, with starman Thierry Henry supported by Robert Pires, Dennis Bergkamp and Freddie Ljungberg. Arsenal were also solid at the back, with Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré in the heart of the defence. Holding everything together in midfield was Patrick Vieira, the lion-hearted captain and the beating heart of the team. This Arsenal side could play dazzling attacking football 1 minute, then win a physical battle the next. It'll be hard for anyone to match the Invincibles' remarkable achievement. Manchester United's treble winners. Before 1998-99, no team in English football history had even won the holy trinity of league title, Champions League and FA Cup. 10 sides had won the domestic double, including Manchester United on 2 occasions. But the Red Devils went one better that year. Alex Ferguson's team of star signings and academy products produced the greatest season in the history of an illustrious club. United finished 1 point clear of Arsenal in the Premier League, beat Newcastle in the FA Cup, and stunned Bayern Munich with a late comeback in the Champions League final. 5 United players earned a spot in the PFA Team of the Year: Gary Neville, Jaap Stam, Dennis Irwin, David Beckham and Dwight Yorke. Roy Keane won the club's Player of the Year award, and Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, Ryan Giggs, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Paul Scholes all scored hugely important goals. This was a team effort from a sensational side. Leicester's Underdogs. Before the start of the 2015-16 season, Leicester were 5,000-1 outsiders to win the Premier League. Many pundits tipped them for relegation and said Claudio Ranieri would be the first manager sacked. Instead, a team of unfashionable players led by a journeyman manager produced the most extraordinary footballing fairy tale we've ever seen. With a counter-attacking style and a ferocious team spirit, Leicester started the season well and just kept on winning. They went top of the table in the middle of January and didn't move for the rest of the season. Jamie Vardy, who terrorised defenders with his pace, scored 24 goals. Riyad Mahrez provided flair and invention on the wing, and N'Golo Kante showed the world how effective he is as a ball-winning midfielder. In the end, Leicester finished 10 points clear of second place. They only lost 3 games all season. Leicester weren't just underdog champions, they were deserved champions too. Mourinho's first Chelsea. Jose Mourinho won 3 Premier League titles at Chelsea, but his best team was his very first one in 2004-05. Only one team managed to defeat them, Manchester City, thanks to a Nicolas Anelka penalty. Chelsea came so close to having their own Invincibles season. It was hard enough to score against the Blues, let alone beat them. Chelsea only conceded 15 goals that campaign, less than half the number let in by second-placed Arsenal. It's comfortably the best defensive record record in Premier League history. Petr Cech was outstanding in goal, but he often didn't have a lot to do. That's because of the solid centre-backs in front of him, John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho, who were themselves protected by Claude Makelele. Chelsea were excellent defensively, but they weren't a defensive team. Arjen Robben and Damien Duff dazzled on the wings. Didier Drogba and Ida Gudjohnsen scored 16 goals each. Frank Lampard did even better with 19. Mourinho's first Chelsea team was one of the Premier League's best ever. Manchester United's Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. The Manchester United team of 2007-8 didn't set any records for points, goals or wins, but they're undoubtedly one of the greatest in Premier League history. Alex Ferguson came close to another treble that season. United won the Premier League and the Champions League, but they were knocked out of the FA Cup in the quarter-finals. This side's best remembered for its front three though: Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo and Carlos Tevez. The trio hit it off from the start. They interchanged positions and linked up whenever they could. Rooney, Ronaldo and Tevez scored 57 of United's 80 goals. Opponents just couldn't cope with their speed, skill and interplay. Those three were the stars, but this team was packed with talent. Edwin van der Sar, Rio Ferdinand, Paul Scholes, Nemanja Vidic, Patrice Evra, Michael Carrick. The list goes on and on. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. It took a while for things to click for Jurgen Klopp at Anfield, but once they did, the result was spectacular. Liverpool reached back-to-back Champions League finals, then finally ended their 30-year wait for the Premier League title. Liverpool could have crumbled that year. The previous season they'd reached 97 points, but still failed to win the title. It would have been tempting to think fate was conspiring against them, but Klopp didn't worry. He knew his team was moving in the right direction. In 2019-20, they got 99 points, and no other team got anywhere near them. Liverpool wrapped up the title with 7 games remaining, sooner than any other Premier League winners. The front three of Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino and Mo Salah often grabbed the headlines, but Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson all made huge contributions too. Klopp's heavy metal football ended Liverpool's excruciating 3-decade wait. Manchester United's first double. You know, it might be hard to believe now, but Alex Ferguson was under pressure early in his Manchester United career. Some fans demanded he was sacked because of the lack of trophies. Ferguson won his first league title in 1992-93, but the team that retained the championship the following season was even better. United won the FA Cup in 93-94 to complete a domestic double. The magnificent Eric Cantona was the star of the team. He played in a withdrawn position behind Mark Hughes, dropping between the lines to bamboozle opposition defences. Playing in the number 10 role wasn't so common in those days, when most English teams played 4-4-2. This United team had a really strong spine. Roy Keane and Paul Ince took no prisoners in midfield. Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister were solid in defence, and Peter Schmeichel was quickly becoming one of the best goalkeepers in the world. United racked up 92 points and finished 8 clear of Blackburn in second place. Fergie was up and running at Old Trafford. Jack Walker's Blackburn. Before Roman Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour bought into English football, Jack Walker was the Premier League's most well-known benefactor. The boyhood Blackburn fans splashed the cash after taking over at Ewood Park in 1991. 4 years later, in 94-95, Rovers were the Premier League champions. Under the management of Kenny Dalglish, Blackburn held up a strong challenge from Man United to win the title. They lost their final game to Liverpool, but it didn't really matter because United dropped points against West Ham the same day. This Blackburn team is best remembered for its strike force: SAS, Shearer and Sutton. Chris Sutton chipped in with 15 goals, but Alan Shearer was the star. He scored 34 goals in 42 games to fire Blackburn to their first league title since 1914. Mancini's Manchester City. After signing Sergio Aguero, David Silva and Yaya Toure over the previous 2 years, Manchester City were backed by many pundits to win the Premier League title in 2011-12. Roberto Mancini's men made a stunning start, winning 11 of their first 12 matches and mauling Manchester United 6-1 at Old Trafford. No, we still don't know why it's always you, Mario. City had a wobble in the spring, and it looked like United would reel them in. The Red Devils had much more experience and seemed to have timed their run to perfection. But the pendulum swung back in City's favour late on, and they beat United at the Etihad to keep their fate in their own hands. Yet City almost threw everything away on the final day. They only needed to beat relegation battlers QPR at home to win the title. But Mancini's side somehow went 2-1 down. Edin Dzeko scored a header in stoppage time to make it 2-2, and then, well, you know the rest. Over to you, Martin Tyler.